In 3 minutes, I'll show you how to sew these panties. Let's get started. You will only need stretch lace and elastic binding. On the panties pattern, we leave seam allowances only on the sides, 1 centimeter each. Draw a straight line from one side of the panties to the other, as shown in the video. I measure the length of this line, divide it by 5, and multiply by 2. I mark the resulting number downwards from the side along the line. I will overlap the 2 back pieces. So I move 2 centimeters to the left from the center of the panties. Then I connect the marked points. On the front piece, I measure 3.5 centimeters up from the bottom of the panties. To calculate the length of the elastic binding, measure the cut length around the leg openings and along the top edge of the panties. I add the top edge length of the back piece and the front piece together and multiply the result by 2. Then I calculate the length of the leg opening along the front, the gusset, and the back piece. From all obtained measurements, I subtract 5%. This accounts for the elasticity of my binding. For finishing the leg openings, I need 2 binding strips. I add an additional 4 centimeters of seam allowance to each strip. I cut out the pattern pieces and then cut the fabric pieces from the lace. I join the 2 back pieces together with a straight stitch. Then I place them wrong sides together with the front piece and sew a straight stitch 5 mm from the edge. I trim the seam allowance down to 2 mm, turn the panties right side out, and sew another straight stitch 5 mm from the edge. I secure the seam allowance with a straight stitch. I sew the binding into a ring and trim the seam allowances. I align the binding seam with the panties seam and, stretching evenly, sew it on using a zigzag stitch with settings 3x2. I finish with heat and steam pressing, and the panties are ready. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.